Happy Father's Day to you, and Sunday afternoon or evening, depending on what you want to call for 4 p.m. I'm meteorologist Claire Fry here to give you the latest on the forecast. Of course, we've been continuing to track these pop-up storms across our area. Just yesterday, we had a flash flood warning in portions of northern Guilford County that dumped between 6 to 8 inches of rainfall. That actually in total is the amount that we normally see for 2 months across the region, and we're still kind of looking for the threat and watching for the threat, I should say, for the isolated flooding into the night tonight. So I wanted to show you here what we can expect heading into these next couple of hours, and really what I've been seeing the last couple of hours as well. So I'll look at the satellite radar for right now. These scattered showers and storms are kind of continuing to kind of push into our area. There is a warm front just to our north, and that's kind of helping to spark these showers and thunderstorms across the region. Everything is sub-severe for right now, but we still could have an isolated severe storm or two for the next couple of hours, and one actual warning here toward Raleigh, just toward Norfolk, actually here in Virginia, right across the border between North Carolina and Virginia. Just saw a severe thunderstorm warning in the area, but for us in the Triad, nothing severe as of right now. So let's kind of zoom in and dive into what's going on exactly on the radar. Most of what we're seeing are just pop-up showers and storms across the area, containing maybe a little bit of lightning, very small hail, and even the strongest of storms that we've seen kind of roll through the region. And this kind of band that we've been seeing moving through the region is packing a punch with lots of lightning and even locally heavy storms across the area. But it is currently continuing to push east and out of our area, but we're still going to be on the lookout for scattered showers and storms for the next several hours. The main threat in these storms, especially after yesterday's rain in northern Guilford County, is going to be the isolated flooding. So let's kind of zoom in a little bit on some of these showers and storms across the area. You could see most of them here in some of the highest reflectivities kind of just starting to leave Alamance County and pushing through Mebane toward Hillsborough. Right here toward Anderson, just saw some strong storms move through the area. Again, I'm really not seeing much hail right now with these storms across the area, but that doesn't mean we couldn't see some pea-sized hail, but that still isn't going to be the main threat for us with these storms heading into the next several hours through later into tonight. Most of them are going to be out of our area actually later by tonight by around 8 or 9 o'clock. A few could linger, but that's really when that threat for a strong or severe storm is going to die down. We're still going to be keeping an eye on the radar by then, but for now, again, right now, we're really seeing only just a couple of pop-up storms across our area. And as for the WPC, that flash flooding risk for our region for the day today, unsurprisingly, at a level 2 out of 4 for the region, meaning scattered flash floods are going to be possible with these heavy downpours across the region. Into tomorrow, more afternoon and evening showers and pop-up storms are still going to be possible. So that level 1 out of 4 is also not a surprise for Monday. So that's another threat that we're going to have to watch out for into tomorrow afternoon and evening. And again, we do have that warm front that kind of helps to give some convection to some of these storms for the afternoons and evenings. But otherwise, we really don't have a system driving these storms. And when I say that, I mean they're able to form and really not move much across the area. And when you have a storm dumping a lot in a very short amount of time at just one specific location, it can lead to flash flooding. So that really is the big picture and big main threat that we're going to have to be looking out for tonight and into the day tomorrow. Severe storm risk, we're on the lower end of this for the day today, but we do have some of our counties in a level 1. Majority of the risk, though, that we've seen has continued to be to our east as well as to our north, but we'll still keep an eye on any strong to severe storms across our area into the next couple of hours. Last storm reports over the last 24 hours. I wanted to go over that northern county section that saw that flash flood warning. It started at around 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and it really didn't let up until around 9:30 in the evening. So 3 to 4 hours of rainfall just constantly across the area from storms redeveloping across the region. And we had a report from that flash flooding in Lake Townsend with river and creek flooding as well as basement flooding in the area. And I do kind of want to show you some amounts that we saw within that flash flooding, that that flash flood warning during this time frame. Up to around 6 to 8 inches were some of the highest that we saw, mainly right out along North Church Street and Air Harbor Road, and even a couple of higher tallies near Summit Avenue and Reedy Fork Road as well. Lee's Chapley Road also saw lots and lots of heavy rain, and we did have a couple of viewer reports show over 6 to 8 inches of rainfall, which again is the amount that you'd expect to see in around 2 months in the Triad. So a lot of heavy rain from those redeveloping storms that kind of just sat over us for several hours just last night. And in the last 6 hours, storm reports across the area. We've had a couple just to our north, right here in Chatham. Thunderstorm winds blew down one tree limb that knocked down a telephone line. And again, of course, that's on a Moses Mill Road. And we're also looking at another storm report as well, with winds that blew down another tree across the area. So not only can these storms pack a punch with isolated flooding, but they could be bringing some gusty winds across the area with lightning and even some small hail across the region. Most of our area is under a flood watch. Again, this is for Randolph, Davidson, Forsyth, Rockingham, Stokes, and also here in Guilford County and also Patrick County in Virginia. This flood watch is going to continue through 11 o'clock for the night tonight. And I really think by around 7 or 8 o'clock, majority of those showers will have moved out of the area. At least the stronger ones, I would say, becoming a little bit more weakened by the time we get to 11 o'clock. So they could drop this early, but it is good to have this with these isolated downpours that can just kind of sit across the area. There is still a little bit of a risk for hail across the region into the day today. Again, main thing is going to be that isolated flash flooding and even a little bit of gusty winds that could be damaging across the region as well. But again, that main threat is continuing to be out toward our east and again, just toward our north for those severe storms. I wanted to pull up the water vapor map just to kind of give you an idea of how these storms look as they start to fizzle up. A look at the water vapor. You could see the moisture here on this legend here, that dry air. Well, there's not much of it, and we've been seeing that the last several days with humid air kind of getting pushed in from our south, warm air as well. And you can kind of see right here this upper level trough kind of digging into the area. This is actually helping to ignite some of these storms across the area. So you can see them actually start to bubble up just north of the Triad and actually in the Piedmont Triad just in the last couple of hours. So here they come. You can start to see them move in this big blob of blue. That's one storm moving in. These other storms also starting to fizzle up, and you can see a couple actually fizzling out. It's a very cool process there on the water vapor map. A quick look here at our satellite and radar. We're still continuing to track these storms across the area. And of course, if you're just now joining us, these scattered showers are going to be very sporadic. If you have plans with Dad this evening, just keep an eye on the radar, have the rain gear ready to go, and also make sure you have a way to receive severe weather alerts if we do issue a severe thunderstorm warning across the area. Rainfall that we saw just yesterday, again, northern Greensboro, 6 to 8 inches, but most of us really didn't see all of that much. In Winston-Salem, not really very much, but out just toward our west, we saw over an inch in Wilkesboro, over half an inch here in Statesville, and a couple hundredths of an inch in actual Greensboro just toward the south, and a couple hundredths of an inch also in Reedsville. I did want to share this from that flash flood warning just yesterday in northern Guilford County. This was in Stokesdale. Chris Joyce sent this in. This is actually, if you can believe it, a parking deck or a parking lot, excuse me. You can't even really see the ground with the amount of water that was reported in Stokesdale. It was well within that 6 to 8 inch range across the area. Rainfall that we've seen so far today, not very much, but more scattered showers and storms are going to continue to be possible for the next several hours, up to around 1/4 of an inch here in Burlington, a couple hundredths of an inch in Wilkesboro, Statesville, and also here in Greensboro and in Reedsville. Right now in Burlington, the sun is shining, but there are other spots that are still seeing those isolated downpours. We're in the upper 70s with dew points, though, in the 70s. It feels like we are in the 80s and even in the 90s, and we are going to continue to kind of warm up these next several days. Winston-Salem, you can kind of see a little bit of those showers starting to roll into the area, and it's really depicted here on the temperature map. If you're seeing those cooling showers, you're likely going to be in that more yellowish color, like right over here. Just in Burlington that saw those showers. A bit cooler right now. We're in the upper 70s, right at around 80 versus low to mid 80s for the majority of us across the area. Dew points, it is tropical. It is very sticky. We're in the upper 60s and low to mid 70s across the region. Highest wind gusts today, mainly in the 20 to 35 mile per hour range. Wind gusts right now died down a little bit since those past showers and storms have continued to kind of push out of the area, but we're still kind of keeping an eye on the radar for the next several hours as more pop-up storms continue to form. Again, one or two could be strong or severe, but I really just don't want anybody to be, taken by surprise with these storms, especially on Father's Day. If you have any plans across the area, again, rain gear, continue to watch the radar. In the next 12 hours, we're going to continue to see these storms kind of die out ahead of more scattered shower chances into tomorrow afternoon. So I'm going to take this graphic full so you can kind of get a full glance at your 7-day forecast. Scattered showers are still going to be possible for Tuesday. We're in the upper 80s, but it is going to heat up. I talked about this just a couple of minutes ago, and it is going to start to clear out a bit. We're going from scattered showers to becoming a little bit more isolated, mainly dry by Friday. Upper 80s right at around 90 degrees for the first day of summertime, and also heading into next weekend. Thanks so much for joining us on WFMY News 2 Plus, and we hope you have a great day.